Hey everyone, this is Tio of Tio Tunes Tube, and today I have a new video for y'all. I hope you all enjoy. Well, it was a pretty close one this time, but the results are in, so here is what I would have done with Die Another Day. So, I came up with two plots for this one, and both are drastically different. So here is my concept for plot number one. So, to be clear, I'm just gonna throw out the entire concept for Die Another Day and create a new one using the same exact title. However, I will still use this scene from the actual Die Another Day movie.
Any day, Quartermaster.
Yes, but it's called the future, so get used to it.
So, this is where they keep the old relics, then, eh?
I'll have you know, this is where our most cutting-edge technology is developed.
Point taking.
Must you touch everything?
Does this still work?
Now look,
So where is this cutting-edge stuff?
I'm trying to get to it.
Although I have no idea where to put it for the concept I'm going to explain to you. And I would also definitely probably change up the dialogue mostly. But the reason I would want the room to stay is because of all the past callbacks to previous James Bond movies in the background. Since the movie Die Another Day is supposed to be the 40th anniversary of the Eon James Bond franchise, but I feel like they could have leaned in more to that. So, here is my concept on how I would lean in more to that. Here we go, and please tell me if you like it or not. So, like I said earlier, I would keep the title and mostly keep the Q scene. However, I will have the plot be based on the 6th Ian Fleming James Bond novel, Dr. No. Now, I know what you're probably saying, but they already did that for the very first movie. And to that I say, yes, that's the point. With it being based on the 6th novel again, I think that allows the filmmakers to be able to do stuff that they weren't able to do in the 1960s, such as...
Finally spits him out into the coup de grace. A giant squid enclosure. He slashes at its tentacles with a knife and stabs the thing in its giant eye with a makeshift spear, getting covered in disgusting squid viscera in the process. It's just unadulterated schlock. And so the question...
And to keep the continuity, I'm gonna have the main villain, Dr. No, be Dr. No Jr., with a more novel-accurate Dr. No rewritten to be the son of the first film adaptation of Dr. No. The same way Coral Jr. is the son of Coral from the first movie, but is just based on Coral from the novels, with Jr. added to the name to not break continuity. And speaking of Coral, I would definitely put him in the movie as well, basically doing what his namesake did in the 6th novel, but once again add Jr. to the name to not break continuity, and have him and James Bond acknowledge the stuff they did in the Live and Let Die movie. And I would probably get Roy Stewart to reprise his role since he was still alive in 2002. And as for the rest of the characters from the Dr. No novel, I would completely change their names, with the exceptions being the MI6 regulars we see, and the characters I just mentioned. Once again, not to break continuity. Something else I would change is probably give Dr. No human hands instead of...
I thought you less stupid. Usually when a man gets in my way.
Because I think that's too much of a coincidence for him and his father to have prosthetic hands. And after recreating this sequence from the novel.
In the book, Bond contends with the electrified grate and the scalding tunnels, but also a section filled with giant spiders, Dr. No's men taunting him from observation portals in the tunnel until the course finally...
Before James Bond would fight the giant squid, I would have him see something that might hurt him psychologically. I would show a spotlight, and what it's zooming over is a exact replica of his wife's headstone, with the fake headstone in front of a glass wall, and inside the wall is a darkly lit room with another light shining, and we see a actress hired by Dr. No Jr. with her pretending to be the zombie of his late wife, complete with her wearing a replica of her wedding dress and her screaming, "We don't have all the time in the world," as a reference to this line.
It's all right. It's quite all right, really. She's having a rest. We'll be going on soon. There's no hurry, you see. We have all the time in the world.
The reason I would have this version of Dr. No doing all this is so he can get revenge on James Bond for what he did to his father. Speaking of character's death, I would not include Quarrel's death from the novel, since I would feel like it would be too heartbreaking for him to die in this movie, especially the same way his father died. And for the Honey Rider stand-in, I will rewrite her to be Moneypenny, more specifically played by Samantha Bond, reprising her role. And yes, I would also have her experience the crab sequence from the novel. Now, the reason I would have Moneypenny replace Honey Rider is because I would want her to have more field experience with James Bond for this installment, making their relationship stronger. And after he saves her from getting pinched to death by crabs, I would switch gears and have the movie be based on the novel The Man with the Golden Gun, more specifically starting at the train part with Dr. No replacing Francisco Scaramanga, Moneypenny replacing Mary Goodnight, and Quarrel Jr. replacing Felix Leiter, with it pretty much ending the same way as The Man with the Golden Gun novel. Now here is my concept for plot number 2. Instead of Gustav Grace originally being a Korean soldier, I will use that as a red herring, and I would have had him be secretly Ernst Stavro Blofeld. Now the way I would reveal this is I would have him grab a white cat and say, "This is just like the time you thought I was that white person from that casino," a reference to Diamonds Are Forever, with Bond surprised that he's still alive after dropping him down a chimney shaft from the movie For Your Eyes Only. But I would also have him die the same way Gustav does in the actual movie. Side note, I would also use the car from Goldfinger rather than the car from this movie as the main car. You know, as an extra reference. And plus, the car from Goldfinger is much more likable and popular. I think it was called the DB5, but I could be wrong. Sorry, it's just I'm tired. But anyway, with that said, I think I'll end the video here. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all later. And please tell me, which plot do you like better? See ya.